You know, we've all heard of hybrids, mild hybrids, even plug-in hybrids. But now there's a new name popping up, super hybrid. And the car bringing it to our attention is this, the Jaecoo J7. So let's jump right in and figure out what exactly makes it so super.
So that's the big question, isn't it? What exactly is a super hybrid? Is this a real game changer in car tech, or is it maybe some clever marketing for something we've kind of seen before? Let's break it down.
All right, first things first. We've got to get to the heart of the matter. When Jaecoo slaps the super hybrid label on the J7, what are they really talking about under the hood?
Okay, so here's the deal. Super hybrid is basically Jaecoo's own special name for their advanced plug-in hybrid system, or PHEV. What you're looking at is a 1.5-liter turbo engine working together with a pretty beefy 18.3 kilowatt-hour battery. But it's what that combo does that starts to make that super name make a little more sense.
And here's where things get really interesting. When you put the engine and the electric motor together, you get a grand total of 340 horsepower. Now, for a family SUV, that is a lot of power. We're talking performance-level numbers here. But you know, horsepower is only half the picture. The torque is a massive 525 newton-meters. What that really means is you get a huge amount of grunt, that instant push-you-back-in-your-seat feeling when you accelerate. That's the magic of having that electric motor on tap.
Now, this is the number that really turns heads. Jaecoo is claiming a combined range of up to 1,200 kilometers. That's on a full battery and a full tank of gas. This is the big promise of a plug-in hybrid, right? No more range anxiety, you get that efficient, quiet electric power for running around town, but you also have the freedom of a gasoline engine for those really long trips. It's the best of both worlds.
Okay, so the numbers, the power, the range, they're really impressive. But let's be honest, specs on a piece of paper don't tell you everything. A car has to have a certain presence, a look. So how does the Jaecoo J7 actually stack up on the road? All right, let's talk about the outside because the J7 has a very distinct, almost aggressive design. And if you look closely, you might notice it takes a few hints from some pretty famous luxury brands. There's definitely a theme going on with the design here. Up front, you can't miss that huge waterfall grille. It gives the car a really bold face. Then you have these unique check flag-style daytime running lights and some big 19-inch aero wheels. I love these sleek pop-out door handles that sit totally flush with the body. And then around back, you've got that full-width light bar that really finishes off the modern high-end look.
Now, if you're looking at some of these design cues and thinking, that seems a little familiar, you're not wrong. The reviewer actually pointed out that the styling, especially at the back, seems to draw some pretty clear inspiration from luxury brands like Range Rover.
Okay, let's step inside because the interior has a totally different vibe. It's very minimalist, super clean, and it is all about the tech. Let's check out what it's like to actually sit in this thing. The premium feel starts before you even get in the car. As long as the key's in your pocket, the car knows you're there, and the door handles pop out to greet you. And then when you open the door, the driver's seat actually slides back. It's a welcome seat feature to make it just that little bit easier to get in and get comfortable. Once you're inside, your eyes are immediately drawn to this, a massive 14.3-inch vertical screen. And it's not just for your radio and maps. Nope, this thing is the command center for pretty much everything in the car. Your climate controls, your driving settings, all of it. But you know, even with all this high-tech stuff, the reviewer did find one funny little quirk. For all the advanced tech, some of the basic controls are, well, different. As the quote says, the power window switches work backwards. You press up to make the window go down, and down to make it go up. It's a small thing for sure, but definitely something you'd have to get used to. So, beyond that giant screen, the J7 is absolutely packed with smart safety tech. Let's take a look at all the systems that are there to help you out while you're driving.
And wow, the list of safety features is pretty long. You get all the key stuff you'd expect these days, like adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, and lane keeping assist. But it also adds things like a driver monitoring system to make sure you're not getting tired, plus a super clear 360-degree camera to make parking a breeze.
The tech just keeps coming. There's a head-up display, which projects important info like your speed right onto the windshield, so you can keep your eyes on the road. And, like a lot of modern cars, it's got a mobile app, so you can check on your car status, see the battery charge, and even control a few things remotely right from your phone.
All right, so we've covered the tech, the design, and that super hybrid powertrain. Now let's get down to the really practical stuff. What's it going to cost you? What kind of warranty does it come with? And where can you actually get one?
Okay, let's talk numbers. At its launch in Pakistan, the ex-factory price for the Jaecoo J7 was set at 9,099,000 rupees. Of course, that's before taxes and fees, so the final on-road price will be a bit higher depending on where you are.
The warranty looks pretty solid. For the car itself, you're covered for 6 years or 150,000 kilometers. But maybe more importantly, that big, expensive hybrid battery gets its own, even longer warranty. 8 years or 160,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. That's some good peace of mind.
So for anyone interested in seeing one of these in the metal, the car has been on display at some of the big malls in Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad. You can place your booking at official Jaecoo dealerships, and the first deliveries actually started rolling out around the middle of December.
So there you have it, the Jaecoo J7. It's got the flashy specs, a bold design, and a really competitive price tag. But you know, a car's real success isn't just about how it launches. The true test comes later. It all comes down to the long-term ownership experience. Things like, how good is the dealership network? Can you get parts easily? What's the service like? That is what will ultimately decide whether this super hybrid is just a flash in the pan or a true success story on the road.